Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to discuss patch 1.8.84, and as time goes on it's going to change, but one of the biggest questions I am asked as of late is whether or not a certain exploit works after the latest beta patch. Today I will be discussing exactly that, so with that being said, give this video a like and let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let's start off by talking about one of the newest ways to pick up an infinite amount of items and credits over here at Atlantic City. You first need the best there is quest. Once you do have this, you can then travel over here towards Jemison, and then you want to locate the Jade Swan ship that can be found on the right side. Once you're inside the ship, all you need to do is then go towards the back portion here, because if you go forward, it's going to be the wrong way. So turn around, go towards the left, go all the way towards the end, take a right, and then take the ladder all the way up. You can jetpack up if you wish. Then go towards the right side and you're going to see the captain's locker. Grab all of the items, and then what you want to do is then travel somewhere else on the map. Now you cannot do this from this exact spot, so you do need to exit out. Then open up the map and travel somewhere close by. Once you've done so, then you want to open up the map. Travel back towards the exact same spot, go towards the Jade Swan, go inside, and what you will notice is that the captain's locker has then been refreshed, so you can grab an infinite amount of items. This is a great exploit, and you can definitely take advantage of this, and I highly recommend it because it's a lot of items and stuff that you can grab. And the credits will change each time, by the way. Next, coming up at number 2, we're going to talk about the Starborn and Duplication glitch. What you can do is head over towards a ship vendor or a star station that does have one, and at this point what we will do is then go towards our ship that we want to duplicate and make sure that the Starborn's on the left side or the right side. You then want to tap LB or RB depending on which side it is, tap X right afterwards or at the same time, and what should happen is that you will be in this menu right here to change the color of your ship. Once you've changed it, you can then back out, and if done correctly, the ship will be duplicated. Now, when you do travel and try to use your ship that you just duplicated, which would be the one that you just replaced, which was the Starborn, you're going to see that you can use the same effect as the Starborn ship. This way you have a duplicated ship, and you also can use that invisibility. Continuing on towards number 3, we're going to head over here and acquire the Mantis questline. Once you've done that, and you have acquired both the Razor Leaf and the Mantis armor, you're going to then head over towards a random area. It could be any system really. Eventually you will have this event right here where a spacer hyena will notice who you are. They'll hail to you first. You're basically going to say, hey, you picked the wrong target, pal. And what's going to happen right at this moment is that he's going to freak out and be like, oh, whoa, you're the Mantis. Okay, do not hurt me. Here's some credits. So there's 3,000, and then what you can do additionally to grab more credits is you can hit the first line again. And then what's going to happen is you will receive 791. Now you want to hold down the escape or exit out of this menu, and then you want to talk to him again. So when you do this again, you're going to be able to pick up 3,000 credits once more. You can do this an infinite amount of times, and what's great is that there's no end to this. Of course, unless they do patch it. But right now this does work in patch 1.8.84, so that's good news, and this should work once they do release the final patch. But of course, things are going to change like constantly, because as of late, they've been adding some different things to it. So we'll see what happens then. Some of you may have seen this before, so I'm only going over it so that you know exactly what works in the latest patch. Continuing on, we're going to talk about something else here that involves the well, which can be found towards the left side here over at New Atlantic City. You're going to see that there's this elevator that you can take directly down below. There's going to be a few options here to where you can go, but we're going to choose the very top one, which is going to be the well. When you have traveled down below, you can then go towards the right, and you're going to open up this door. If you locate the left side here, you're going to see a bunch of helmet displays. Now, there's only one item inside for right now, but what's great is that you can actually increase your chances of picking up a legendary helmet. I'm not too sure what this exactly will do if you tried it with the cases, but I would assume it does the same exact thing, right? Gives you a potential chance at a legendary. So now let's say that you have taken a good look at the helmets. What you can do is then open up the map, and we're going to travel towards the top left here at the Sol system. You're going to then locate Venus, Because what you may not know is that it only takes 6 hours to reset the vendor if you do rest at Venus. With that being said, what you want to do is then rest inside your ship, or you can simply just wait, it does not matter, tomato tomato. Then from this point you want to travel back towards Jemison, Atlantic City, go inside, check the left side, and you're going to see the helmet displays. You can then check each one and you're going to see another version of the helmet, as well as this works with the weapons. That's a pretty cool way to grab a bunch of stuff, and you can do this as much as you want just by simply resting and going back and forth. Next, we're going to talk about one of the best ways to level up, and this is all done by heading over here towards Schrodinger. Once you have located Schrodinger, which is pretty close to a few other points of interest, we're going to land here. You want to scan a bunch of things, specifically these fox bats. Once you have done that, you then want to take a bunch of XP boosters and place down an animal husbandry. You then will have to shoot the, monsters, the good old fox bats, and it's going to reward you anywhere from 130 to 150. As you can see, it's 145. This is a good amount of XP, and I can rinse and repeat this by shooting the box there on the left side and then repairing the whole entire animal husbandry here. You can do this as much as you like. If you did not know, this is possible, and it's definitely a great way to level up. I highly suggest using the XP boost, but you really do not need to. It just helps so that you can acquire more XP, of course. Moving on, we're going to discuss 2 great ways to level up your persuasion. This can be done fairly early, I would say. Actually, it can be done early game. And what you will need to do is travel towards the middle here where there's this big tree. You will see this scientist. You'll talk to him. He's going to ask you to pick up a bunch of items for him. When you do talk to him again, you're going to have to wait it out once, then twice, and eventually he's going to give you a quest to talk to one of his co-workers. This will be Emilio. You can then talk to him, and there's going to be a few options here when it comes down to the dialogue. I decided to choose the first one, which should be fine if you're doing the same exact thing. Then for the next dialogue choice, we're going to choose the top one as well. So go ahead and use Kilton Says. Once you've chosen that one, you can then choose the next option, which is pretty much you're going to agree with him and say, hey, fine, I'm in. And then he's going to be surprised. The next option is going to be the persuasion. We then want to choose persuade. What's going to happen now is we will have the chance to persuade this fella, which is quite easy to be honest. And once you have persuaded him, you can then exit outside of the dialogue, then talk to him again, and there's going to be an option to then persuade once more. You can do this as much as you want, so this way you can acquire an infinite amount of XP, but it's not best for the XP in general, but it is great to level up that persuasion skill. This method right here will work for most of the NPCs that do allow you to back out of the dialogue, but there might be a chance where you cannot do so, and so pretty much overall when you try to persuade again, there's not that option. For example, with the Spacer Hyena that we just talked about at the very beginning of the video, that one, for example, you can back out of the dialogue, talk to him again, and you're going to have the option to pick up credits, which is something the developers absolutely did not intend on, and I'm pretty sure this is the same exact thing here. Well, as you can tell on the right side, I've leveled up my persuasion pretty high. With that, let's go ahead and talk about the next way to level up your persuasion. What you can do is head over towards Ryujin, interact with the terminal. We're going to then pretty much lie on a resume, submit the application. From there, go towards the elevator towards the right. You'll go inside. You'll choose the top one, which is going to be operations. Talk to the boss. Do a little bit of a fetch quest. Then eventually, once you have talked to all of the members here, we're going to head towards this fellow on the left, and we're going to choose the last option. What you're going to see is there's going to be a persuade one. So we're going to persuade him. Do this pretty much as you did before. And what's going to happen is when you talk to him again, there's going to be that persuasion once more. You can do this as much as you like, and the best part is that you're going to be able to level up your persuasion, which is pretty cool. Will this work if you have already completed the Ryujin faction? It should. Just head over here towards the members and talk to him. He should have that dialogue, but if he does not, then sadly you may not be able to do this exactly. But for the most part, you should be able to do it. Of course, you can always try to talk to the scientist and see if he will give you the quest as well, but Again, these are just two different ones. If you haven't completed the other one, you can try the other one. Moving onwards, last but not least, we're going to talk about the case exploit, which a lot of you should already know about. It's quite simple. You'll just pretty much create an outpost, place down a bunch of weapon cases, then at that point, create a quick save by tapping F5. Or what you can do is open up the menu and create a quick save there. But if you're on PC, it's probably faster to do so by clicking F5 and then clicking F9 to load it back up. You can stack these crates if you wish. Sometimes they may not stack because of the way they're angled, but for the most part, you can do this. When you check inside the case, there's not going to be a weapon inside until you do create that quick save and then load it back up. So this pretty much works after the latest patch. Something I'm sure a lot of you were curious about, wondering whether or not they were going to fix something major like this. And thankfully they have not, so you can still do it, which is pretty cool. If you guys have enjoyed the video, the updated information on what glitches and exploits are working after the latest patch, please let me know down below if you have any questions and all that good stuff. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you all in the next video.